What's going on? It's James Conti. Welcome back to the channel. And I have an interview here that I've been really looking forward to. This is Lisa from Perth. Lisa, what's up?
Hi, how you going?
Good,
Good to see
good,
you,
good.
James.
Lisa and I have a very interesting background before she jumped into the program. And I'll let you tell the story in a second. But we went from a very by chance meeting to you coming in as a complete beginner, no idea what you're doing, to absolutely acing it, learning these skills, making sales online for the very first time, and really doing great. And you're still very early on. What are you, 2 months in?
Yeah,
Yeah.
3 now.
Wow, time
Yeah,
flies.
yeah, so quick.
Absolutely incredible. And so, what I wanted to do in this interview today is just get a little bit of the story from Lisa. Lisa has done incredibly well, and a lot of it comes down to who she is and her mindset and the way that she tackles problems as they pop up, and really just being super coachable and see what kind of lessons we can extract out of her so you can take them home for when you go ahead and start your journey as well. But Lisa, let's start with the story of how we met. I think that's very interesting.
Yeah, so back 2 years ago, I went and I took my daughter to see performer Youngblood. Um, and we were at lunchtime, we went into Culture King to get memorabilia signed, and I've just pretty much walked in and got straight in the door where poor James has been waiting since 7 o'clock in the morning to see him. Got a memorabilia signed, left. Then that night, I went to the concert, and this guy walks up to me and says, "I saw you this morning." To me and my daughter, we're like, "Who are you?" And we talked, danced, and told James and his friend went off to the mosh pit, had a great night. James said that night what he was doing. I went, "Yeah." He said, "Can we be friends on Insta?" I went, "Yeah." Kind of left it there. James sort of showed me a few times. I was like, "Nah, not going there, not interested, mate." Great fun. James is so much fun. If you ever get the chance to hang out with James, you will have like the best time. Then roll on 2 years later, and I'd been stalking James, like watching his success, how he was going through socials. I sent James a message and I said, "I'd like to have a go. I want to find out what ecom is all about." I literally had no idea. Um, it's all very new to me.
So good. It was such a funny story. Youngblood is a punk artist from the UK, and been listening to him for years. And yeah, that was we didn't know many people. Me and my buddy who were there, we didn't know many people when you were there, and we saw you in the line from the signing. We're like, yeah, we'll hang out, and it was cool. We were chatting for a while on Instagram, and you'd see my content, and we give you the opportunity to come work with us here and there. It wasn't the right time, and it was quite funny because they kind of let you be, and then out of nowhere, you're like, hey, get started with this stuff, and the rest has sort of been history. So. I guess with that being said, like what sort of drew you to finally draw the line in the sand and say, you know what, like I want to start this online business stuff? Like what's been like the main motivation for you to even start in the first place?
I guess there's been so much come through about ecom, and you can make money, all the rest of it. I do believe there's a lot of fake people out there that'll just rip you off. I wanted to do something, start a business for myself, do something for myself on the like a side hustle. And I thought I'll just give it a go. And the other thing that actually pushed me to do it was two 16-year-olds. One was my daughter and one was a friend of ours. Um, they, our friend, he basically said he would love to do it. What's stopping me? But my daughter said, because I was a little bit worried about it's all new. Am I going to be able to do it? I've never done anything like this in my life. And she said, if you were going to go to university, mum, and learn, how much would that cost you? What's the difference? And I'll tell you something, you would not get the support that I've been given from James, Emmett, and Dan. It just blows me away. Each day I get messages, how you going? We have Zoom calls. The support is incredible.
That's amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you, seriously. And a lot of that comes down to you. You're such a pleasure to work with and come a long
Thank
way.
you.
So I guess when you were sort of thinking about that, like what were some of the maybe limiting beliefs or doubts or sort of concerns that were running through your mind about whether you'd be able to do something like this or not? Like before you got started, and you were in the group, like what kind of things were sort of there?
Um, Fear of failure, like, can I do this? Have I, yeah, my biggest fear would be I won't be able to do this. It'll be too
Right.
much, it'll be too complicated. I'm going to get ripped off. Um, I think what helped me a lot was the fact I personally knew you, James,
Mm.
and and I knew that Emmett was from, sort of too with your connection. That helped. I've also, because over the years I've tried other things, like I've been the Avon lady.
Right.
I've sold a few things here and there through pyramid schemes, and
Yeah.
I've never been successful. Whether I've walked away too soon or not, or whether they've just been a rip off, who knows? Where this is different, and I think, yeah, it was just my beliefs of can I do it or can't I do it, and I've really had to just I made a decision that I'm going to give this 110% go. And I really can sincerely say, I believe with the support from the team, from James and Emmett and Dan, that, yeah, I'll be successful if I follow the system. And that, like, if I go off on my own tangent, possibly won't do as well. But I've got great support, great courses, great everything's there for me if I want to use it.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah, that's good. That's great. You said it so well. I love that. And so I guess with something like fear of failure, right? Like everyone has that starting out because the fear of failure can oftentimes be the biggest thing that stops people from ever starting. And chances are, if they just started, like, they probably won't do as bad as they think. And so I guess when you decided to take the leap and jump into the program, get amongst it and start working with the coaches, when did that fear of failure sort of go away? Was it as you started going through material? Was it when that first sale came in? You were like, oh my God, I can do this. Like, when did that fear sort of move away slightly?
Maybe not the first sale. I think and this might sound quite strange, it's probably as I've made mistakes and
Okay.
I've reflected on those mistakes, and then I've realized I can do it.
Yes.
I think that's as funny as as strange as it might sound, the things I haven't done so well and I've had to go and redo have actually made me realize, yeah, I can do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something about when you reach your first few obstacles, which are inevitable, right? As you go through this kind of stuff, when you go
Mm.
through it and it feels like it's the end of the world, and then you realize, oh, it's actually a simple fix, and I can do it. Then when
Mm.
it happens again, you're like, oh, it's fine. Have a new obstacle.
Yep.
Oh, it probably won't be that
Yep.
bad. No, it isn't that bad because you start to
Yep.
learn, and then you can kind of over time go into this with full confidence, knowing there's nothing that can really be thrown at me that I can't overcome because all you're
Yep.
doing is just collecting more and more skills to your toolkit that you can
Yep.
use when you need to, which is great. I love that.
And I also think the other thing is to have positive people around you, have people that are supporting you. Um, and I do know if the coaches, like you said, there's been the odd time I've been a little bit like, about, I'm not doing so well. And then, no, you're doing great. These are things you should, to work on. If there's ever anything that I'm not doing so well, here's some examples, Lisa, of what you could do. Yeah, also reading, books on how to be successful, your mindset, and all the rest of it. Because I do believe a big part of this is my mindset or anyone's
Mhm.
mindset.
Yes. 100%. Yeah, we are actually talking about that before we started recording, was that your mindset is impeccable. There is a lot of people who aren't willing to take ownership of their own laziness or their own mistakes or go through a frustration and actually seek a solution. There's a lot of complainers, not a lot of people take action. And so you've done very well in such a short period of time because you have a growth mindset, not a victim mindset. You're always looking for ways to solve problems. You're always looking for ways to get better and faster, which is great. And I think a massive part of that as well is your support structure from the sounds of it with your family, like your two children who supported you in doing this in the first place, even when you were potentially doubting yourself in the first place. Like that's big. That's great.
Yeah, no, one child, one's a friend.
Oh, that's right. No, one child, one's a friend. My bad.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
good.
Yes, 100%. So my brain's
Yeah,
fried. It's been a long day, but that's incredible. Having your own child there to support you as well, I think is phenomenal. And I
yeah.
guess with that being said, you've come in, you've nailed the fear of failure. You're starting to nail the skills. You made your first sale in what? Was it a week or two? When did you get that
Yeah,
first sale?
7 days in, I made my first
7 days.
sale. Yeah,
It's
yeah. No,
crazy.
yeah, my first sales were actually the easier ones, which is quite crazy. And you
Yes,
do get some very interesting questions thrown at you that, from clients, but it's all part of the learning. And
of course.
I've sort of taken that on board.
Hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, and there's a lot of fun to be had as well. It's like, for example, we teach Facebook Marketplace first because it teaches you
Mm.
product research, but also teaches you communication, which is an incredible skill for this kind of stuff. And then later on, if you decide, hey, listen, Facebook Marketplace is great, but I don't like the conversation stuff as much. That's why I have eBay and you have Etsy, where you can take all the knowledge you found about what makes products sell really well and put them on eBay and Etsy. I've just talked anyway, which is really cool. So it's great
Yeah.
that you have sort of that range as well. The first sale within 7 days is incredible. That's
Yeah.
miraculous. I love that. And we're getting more and more of those lately recently. Like more people getting there within their first 1 to 2 weeks as opposed to their first month, which is great. I
Yeah.
guess with that being said, now that we're really starting to ramp things up, get more consistent, you got some really cool stuff in the pipeline. What is your goal over the next 3 to 6 months? Obviously, we're aware of it, but for the people who are at home, if we did say some sort of like catch-up interview in 3 to 6 months to see where you're at, like what is
Yeah.
you looking to hit?
Absolutely. I want, because at the moment I'm still, my actual online store is still, I'm creating it in the background. I'm hopeful. So my goal with that is by the end of October to have my store up and running online.
Beautiful.
I also have some other ideas of one product that I'm getting lots of hits on, except it's too small. So I've got some crazy ideas in my head about what I'd like to do. Yeah, I
Okay.
guess if where I want to be in 3 to 4, 6 months, I'm reaching for the stars. As I want to be as far on as I can be.
I love it.
And I do believe for myself that once the penny drops with all the setting up all the things that have to go on behind the scenes, because obviously that's all new to me on the computer side of it, IT. I think then there'll be no stopping me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what? I already believe that there's no way but you being stopped at this point. You're like a Rolling Stone. You really, really are. Right?
like
Like there's nothing.
like Keith Richards.
Absolutely, absolutely. You're in the right place. If there was anybody who was gonna make it, it'd be you, based on
Thank
everything you've
you.
done so far, you know?
Well, I look forward to our next in six, or say in 6 months' time, we'll have this do this again, and
Oh
then I
yeah.
can say I've made it.
That's it. That's
Yeah,
it. And I
or
guess
sooner.
ideally 30, yeah, for sure. I guess with that being said, the last thing I want to ask you, I think this is really key, right? Because of how unique you are and how great your mindset is, but also like still you went through all the basic stuff, the fear of failure, like the fear of what if I get scammed, what if this goes wrong, like all the stuff that everyone else goes through, right? Not necessarily being the best at tech, neither am I, FYI. All that stuff which is so normal. Imagine that you were speaking to the camera to you before you joined the program. Nervous, unsure, skeptical, all that kind of stuff. What advice would you give old you around getting started?
Get out of hold on. Just go for it.
Yeah,
Just give it your best shot. Like, don't procrastinate. Stop thinking too much. And as Nike says, just do it.
as Nike says, I love it. Hell
Yes,
yeah.
and I'll be honest, sometimes I'll be like, oh, I'm tired because, I work full time. I've got my daughter. I'm a volley firefighter, which I'm the treasurer for. My life's very full on.
Awesome.
And then sometimes I just have to go, hold on, you can find time to watch Netflix. Just saying, you've got
Yes.
time for this.
I love that. That's so
Yeah,
good. That's so good. And again, the fact that you just did it, as Nike said, you jumped in and within 7 days you went from brand new
mm,
to making your first sales online.
yeah,
That's crazy. And
yeah.
I think that speaks volumes. So Lisa, you're incredible. It's
Thank you.
very good that we met.
Yeah,
It's extra
yeah,
good that we got to have this journey and this story start the way that it has.
yeah,
Excited for the catch up. I'm excited for the November event as well to see you in person and celebrate together. And most
yeah,
importantly, I'm just excited to see where we end up. Three,
yeah.
six
No,
months from now, it's going to be somewhere fun. It's going to be somewhere together, and I'm excited to be there.
yeah. No, I'm excited to have you in my journey. I think as Emmett or Dan said to me, as much as we work hard, we're going to have some fun.
That's it. Of
Yeah,
course. Part of
life
the
happens.
part of the benefit of us being real people and not gurus somewhere in America is we're always down to hang out and have a drink and celebrate and shoot the
Yeah,
shit and have a good time. So you're
yeah,
yeah, you're the best.
yeah. No,
Really excited. Thank you, Lisa, for
that's
being here
right.
with us. And for those of you at home, if you've got questions for myself or Lisa, drop them in the comment section below. we're all hanging out here to help. And if you are interested as well in potentially looking at maybe jumping on board with us at Ecom Boss, my Instagram is below. Don't be shy. I don't bite. Message me and I'll send you a voice message back. We can talk about what it is that we do, what our options are, and see if it's a good fit for you. But Lisa, a massive thank you for being here and sharing your story. You're great. I can't wait for our catch up one. And I'll
Yeah,
be
thank
seeing you in
you.
person very soon.
Yeah, sounds good. Thank
Awesome.
you.
You're amazing. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.